So Steve and I are going to demonstrate here a chord progression in the key of A minor. It's going to go A minor, F, C, and G. Steve's going to be primarily playing down in the open position down here. I'm going to be up at the 5th fret and the 7th fret, kind of up here. And you're going to notice that my fingers barely move around because a lot of these chords share a lot of the same notes. And it's just kind of a matter of picking a good voicing here. So here we're going to demonstrate it. First we're going to pretty much play the same kind of rhythm pattern, and then I'm going to move it to something that's just more of a secondary guitar part where I'm just going to let the chords ring out and you can kind of see how they mesh together quite nicely.
One really important thing to mention though is that, you know, again, you're going to be able to hear everything that each of us does, just purely because we're not cancelling each other out tone-wise. Here we go.
So Steve's going to come in with it. He's going to come with the first go around, and then I'm going to join him on the next one. And that kind of stuff there is really what you're going to hear on albums. When guys are making albums and they're layering guitar parts, that's the whole idea of layering. You're not layering the same chords down here over and over. What you're doing is you're making layers of chord inversions. And when you invert the notes, it makes for a nice, thick, wide sound. And that's why good rock albums sound nice and big, is because the guitar players, bass players, and piano players all know how to layer their tone, layer their sound.
Just to pick up on a word that Mitch just used there, inversions. So what we mean by chord inversions, and this is something we'll cover in more detail later, but simply, let's assume that we're playing an A minor chord. It has the notes of A, C, and E within it. If we were to start that on C, so we went C, E, A, that would still be the notes of an A minor, but it's not in what we call root position with A as the lowest note, so it's now a first inversion. We'll explain this in more detail later on, like I say. The other thing it also gives you is a real good foot in the door for opening up ideas for lead lines, melody lines, that sort of thing, because all of these cute little chord shapes can obviously be broken down into arpeggios and then, you know, scalar lines that will obviously match the chord progression.
Should we demonstrate something like that?
You want to do that?
Let's do it.
Cool. I'll do the chords again and you start off and then add some simple notes.
Okay. So again, Steve's going to start it off and I'm going to come in the next go around. So it's just a very simple melody. What I'm doing is I'm kind of isolating a lot of the chord tones in there. I'm going from the A minor, just hitting the root, hitting an F, the C, and ending on the G. So I'm just doing a melody that's focusing in all that A, the C, or the A, the F, and then the C and the G. Keeping it very simple.
What's commonly referred to as target notes.
Exactly.
And there.
So there's a little glimpse on how to play as two guitar players and sound nice and big.
Huge. Evening all.
Sweet.